Hey there, how's it going? Hope you're having a great day. Hope you're having a great week. My name is Juan. Thanks for watching. This is a very special day today because if you couldn't tell by the logo or the name of the title of this video, we went through some changes, guys. This is the very first video of One More Ride. This week, I finally did it, guys. I finally went to Busch Gardens Tampa for the first time since since college. So at least since 2009, 2010, I just dated myself, but it is what it is. And really the whole purpose of this trip was for one ride. If you haven't noticed already, yes, I am wearing the shirt for that said ride. Iron Gwazi, y'all, I'm gonna talk about it later, but wow, what a ride. What a coaster. It's everything that I thought it was going to be and more. If you haven't been to Busch Gardens in Tampa, I'm telling you, if this video doesn't do it justice, which I hope it will, I hope you go out there because it is such a great park, well maintained. The food was even delicious. Like, I really had a blast. Without further ado, here is my trip to Busch Gardens Tampa. So I have to admit, when I first got there, I didn't realize how packed it really was going to be. And to be fair, I got there like 30 minutes after the park gates had opened. So I just assumed that maybe, not everyone's an early riser, that eventually the crowd would pick up, but boy was I wrong. And the first thing that I wanted to do was to get a fast pass. Now you don't have to get a fast pass. It's just an option that you can get if you are going to ride the rides and that's your main priority. You might want to look into it. There's different levels, there's different, benefits that come with each fast pass. If you don't know what a fast pass is, it's basically you pay a certain amount of money and you get to skip the lines. Now, one good thing for me is that I already had a season pass. I have a season pass for SeaWorld, which allows you to get into all the SeaWorld parks, which includes Busch Gardens. So because of that, I was really only paying for the fast pass. So it's kind of a catch-22 depending on, what you do. That if you're paying for a park ticket, you may not want to get a fast pass because that really adds up depending on how many people are in your party. If it's just me, it's not as much, but I can easily see why someone, with 4, 5, 6 people wouldn't want that. Now onto the ride collection. It's got everything from small thrills to big thrills to everything in between. I was really impressed with the Busch Gardens Tampa ride collection. So let's get into it. Cobra's Curse. That was the first ride that I did of the day, and I was actually really impressed. I had seen videos of Cobra's Curse. I've seen other people that I follow on YouTube, and I thought, this may not be for me. This might not be something that I like. But I was actually really wrong to the point where I got on it at least 4 or 5 times throughout the day. It's got this really cool theme of, you're under this spell and there's this serpent that's going to kind of change the ride for you. So everything is kind of cool at first, but then there's a section where the car that you're sitting in literally turns backwards, and so you're going down a drop backwards, and then eventually the curse happens and the cars rotate while you're still on the track. It's a really cool thing, really cool experience, family friendly coaster. Montu really impressed me. It's a B&M invert, but just the layout, the uniqueness of the layout was enough to have me coming back at least 2 or 3 times. It was very smooth. All the elements really worked well together. A lot of inversions, but it didn't feel like I was gonna be sick. It didn't feel like I was gonna get dizzy. And sometimes these type of coasters, depending on where you sit, can have a little rattle. They call it the B&M rattle. But it didn't. It was really exciting. I had a blast. I did front row, I did back row, and I did middle. I preferred the back row for this coaster because it really whips you over, and like every element you're just whipping. But I really enjoy the front too. So great coaster. Those two coasters, Cobra's Curse and Montu, I really enjoy them, and they're right next to each other, so you can't miss them. It's really kind of cool because there are moments on Cobra's Curse that if you time it right, one of the versions on Montu, you look like you're about to get hit. You're not gonna get hit, but it's really cool how they kind of like almost intertwine with each other. Next, after that, I went to one that I actually had been on the last time that I went to Busch Gardens, which is SheiKra. If you're ever gonna do these kind of coasters, you have to do front row. Now, some people will say, well, I like the back row better, or I like the middle, whatever, blah, blah, blah. For me, my experience, front row. Very smooth, which is what I was really impressed by. But this is all to say, there was really one coaster I was here for. I mentioned it before, and it blew me away, and that is Iron Gwazi. I had been hearing about this coaster for so long since it opened, and I finally got my chance to get on it. Wow, the elements are amazing. The first drop, I would argue is probably one of my favorite drops on any coaster that I've been on ever. It is really well done. It really is kind of crazy with just how it goes through each element. It's just going fast. It's zooming. If you don't like roller coasters, you are not gonna like this. This is pure adrenaline, pure insanity. It's just crazy. If you love roller coasters, you gotta put this on your list. This is in my top 5, and it's in my top 3 more specifically. That alone made the trip worth it. I would go just for that coaster every time. Overall, I had a really, really great time at Busch Gardens. I was there from almost park open to park close. Like I said, with Fast Pass, I was able to get on a lot of rides in a short amount of time, over and over and over again. The theming, the food, the ride collection, it just all works together. It's just really well done, and kudos to the Busch Gardens Tampa team, because you make people want to come back. You make people want to take time out of their day, spend hours there, and I think that speaks volumes to theme parks, because that's what theme parks should be. You would want to come back over and over again, and that's exactly what I want to do. So, regardless if you like roller coasters or don't like roller coasters, I still think it's a destination park. I think you will enjoy it. If you want more incentive and you're trying to make a whole long trip out of it, you're only less than an hour and a half from Orlando. So you got Disney and Universal and their sister park, SeaWorld Orlando, right there at your fingertips. So it's really kind of in a great area. And no, I think you would enjoy it. I think anyone would enjoy it. I know I did. Theme park junkies, if you like roller coasters, you have to. The lineup alone, the coaster lineup sells itself. It's just great. Maybe I just came on a good day. Maybe there are days where it's not so great, but I don't know those days. So what I'm telling you is, highly 10 out of 10, highly recommend. So I hope that convinced you. I hope I really did convince you to want to go to Busch Gardens Tampa. If not, it's okay. You won't hurt my feelings. But if you did, if it does intrigue you, I'm telling you guys, you'll be so impressed. I'm telling you, you're gonna love it. Iron Gwazi alone was one of the best coasters I've ever been on. And I could have easily went on it at least 6, 7, 8, 9 more times. I did front row, I did back row, I did middle. It's just that good. And the supporting cast, SheiKra, Cheetah Hunt, even Cobra's Curse, which is more like a family style ride, as I said before. I loved it. I went on it at least 2 or 3 times. Great park. I really enjoyed my visit. I can't wait to go back. And I hope that I did this park justice for you and that you'll want to go and that it intrigues you to want to go, because I really do think it has something for everyone. I hope you have a wonderful day, wonderful week, wonderful month, wonderful life. Make every day a great day, and I'll see you next time on our next trip. Bye!